Hey y'all, welcome back to Harmon Homestead. I've been out in the garden all morning. I'm going to upload a video and show you our garden update. Guys, the blight has taken over. I have not sprayed it with copper again, all of my tomato plants, and it's literally taken over. So I've pruned all morning, but the great news is because we've been fertilizing, everything is growing tremendously. We have tomato plants 7 foot tall. I mean, it's crazy. So we're making it, but I've been out there pruning all morning, and let me tell you, tomatoes will stain your hands, tomato leaves. I know you're supposed to wear gloves, but I didn't this morning, and I have washed my hands about 25 times, and so they're not dirty, they're stained, okay? So, my last video on dehydrating food. Guys, it's been wonderful. We have dehydrated so many things, it's crazy. So last night I did, I think, a quart and a pint of banana chips. I love it. So I'm getting ready to fire it up again today with some pineapples. I don't know if y'all have ever cut a pineapple before, but I'm going to go through that with you too. These were on sale yesterday at a local like discount food store that we have in town. And you could get 2 for $3. So I got 4 pineapples for $6, and we're going to dehydrate these. So if you've never cut a pineapple, pop the stem. Whew. Okay. All right, so there's that. Very good. Now, I've got a very sharp knife here. To dehydrate, you want things as thin as possible to make it crispy or brittle. I'm going to do like little chunks, okay? So take your knife. If you can see me here, and I know I'm filming vertical instead of horizontal, but that's the only way in the kitchen, guys, that y'all can see me and my hands at the same time. So cut that off. There's the inside. Every pineapple has a core, just like an apple core in the center. Now we're going to cut the bottom off. It's not hard. It's really not hard. Pineapple's one of those things that kind of feel intimidating, but it's not. It's really not. So now we're just going to cut the sides. Get the skin off. This is my way of doing it. Y'all can do however. Are you seeing me here? Try to watch myself in the camera doing it. How have y'all been? We have gotten so many subscribers lately, y'all. And most of them was over my last dehydrating video. I couldn't believe that. Like, we're just showing you how to chop a banana up. So I figured I'd show you how to chop a pineapple. And I'm doing it backwards and looking in a camera, so I think I'm doing pretty good here. The main goal with dehydrating is you want everything thin, brittle. Now, people online will show you how to make pineapple candy and all that, how it tastes, like you would get in trail mix, but that's big chunks of pineapple, and these people are dehydrating this for literally days, okay? We're not doing that. There you go. Now, we got to get our core out. I'm going to take this. Now, remember, I'm doing chunks. If you're wanting to do rings, that's a different story. Just take your knife, go down, and that's it. Just like that. We're going to get our core out here. You will see so many ways people do this. If you got chickens, throw it to your chickens. That's how we save on our feed bill too. Okay. Oh, it smells good. Woo! I don't know if y'all can see me there. See, I'm just kind of going back and forth. Pineapples are like the bananas, though. Be careful with this knife because they get sticky, and you don't want to cut yourself by accident. There we go. Okay, so now we've got quarters here of the pineapple. I'm going to make these. My Presto book says 1/4 of an inch thick. So what I'm going to do is, if like these quarters here, I'm going to take it and go down again, and we're just going to do little slices, if you can see here. I'm just wanting like pineapple chips, okay, or little pineapple chunks. They say that you can do this out of the can, like canned pineapple, but I thought this is so much cheaper for $1.50 to get this much pineapple compared to canned pineapple. Buy in bulk when you can, if the price per ounce is cheaper than the can. Sometimes, not always that's true, but most of the time that's true. I got bananas yesterday for 67 cents a pound at the same store, and apples that are just like Red Delicious for $2.67 a sack, and they looked good. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. Because I told you in my last video about what did we pay for groceries. The Granny Smith apples that I bought at a local food chain. It's a Piggly Wiggly, if y'all have ever heard of that. They were $7.99 for a regular sack of Granny Smith apples. Not something like a bulk buy. Do you see how I'm lining it up here? You want to take up every little inch of space, but don't overlap your pineapple. Now, if I eat pineapple out of the can, I love to put cinnamon on it. That's just me. But you can put spices on this stuff now before it dehydrates. And the spices just bake into it. That's what happened with our apple chips. The cinnamons, we put cinnamon over the apple chips, and it stuck on. Now, in my little Presto guide, I believe it says to pre-treat your fruit that may brown. So on my banana video, when I was chopping the bananas, you may have noticed I didn't pre-treat it with anything. Guys, they did fine. Like, there was no trouble. So I didn't pre-treat them. Our apple slices, we did put ball fruit protector on, Fruit Fresh. I'm looking at my spice rack. But, you know, the bananas did just fine. So there's Miss Belle telling everybody hello. They can hear your little feet walking through the house. Again, fruit that's dry will last 1 year if kept dry and if it's properly dehydrated. You'll get a feel for this the more that you do. You'll know if something's tacky, gummy, or if it's brittle. You'll know. But some fruits will not be very brittle. This is probably not going to be brittle. This may be more leathery, gummy, but as long as it's not wet, you'll know. This will probably have the consistency of my oranges. I love the orange slices we did. So we've tackled, now this is pineapple, banana, apples, and oranges. Shelf stable, guys. You got a snack sitting on the shelf. Easy food. And let me stop right here. So I looked, and I've got the YouTube studio, and I can tell what people are searching when they look at my videos. And like the top term that come up was prepping when I put that video up, and I just put hashtag prepping. I meant like prepping your pantry, but I think a lot of people are looking at prepping like sustainable. If an event happens, guys, if an event happens, let me just tell you, any kind of disaster, any kind of weather event, to me that is a disaster when you live through one. Anything you can imagine. First of all, I don't know about y'all. Now, if it's like mild, you're fine, you're okay, your house is okay, but you just don't have power, or you don't have water, or you're sitting there bored. Like, mostly everything's fine. That's going to be like a weather disaster. The first thing that I do is, after a while I start sitting there bored, I want to start eating. I don't know what it is. I guess because I'm upset that I want to eat, and then you don't have anything to eat. That's what I like about these snacks. You're not going to feel like, if the power's out, going and cooking 5 pounds of pinto beans just to snack on. You're not going to want to do that. And I'm saying if it's not that bad of a disaster. Now, if there was just like no food whatsoever, eating this pineapple would not be my priority right then. I'd be trying to get shelter, food, and water. But you get what I'm saying? It's good to have a snack. It really is. I mean, even if, let's see, I'm going to cut him in half, my next quarter. Even if it's, you know, something really bad, it's good to have a backup. It just is to me. I like it. I think you need to have it. Period. The end. I forgot to take the core out of that one, so I was too busy talking to y'all. I do know, I talk about the hurricane we went through, and that's probably the worst disaster I've been through, when we were without power for 8 days. I told you in the other video, all we had was fast food, and we had to drive 15 minutes to go get that. So there was no non-perishables to be bought, not for the first few days. We lived off of fast food, and let me tell you, when you eat a burger twice a day, and you're not used to eating that, and that's all you've got, like, I just wanted to eat more and more and more, and I was upset, and I was sitting here bored. There was no cable. There was no phones. Our phone service was taken out. And this was 2 years ago. It just has got fixed. Like, we've had phone service, but it was very slow. They had to come out and redo the towers. The trees and winds took down the cell towers. So you have no form of communication except whoever you're with. You have nothing to eat. Thankfully, we had water. I had no way to cook because I have an electric stove right here. It was pouring rain, so you couldn't. Now, if it was like ultimate survival, we could have built a fire somehow. But in our normal little fire pit, it's open, so you know we weren't out there using that. If we could go get a burger, you know, it's a lot to think of. A lot. Okay, so that's one tray. Now, you can do this any way you so choose. You can make pineapple rings. You can make halves. You can do any way. I just wanted little pineapple chips. That was 1.5 quarters of the pineapple for one whole tray. And you see how much. So for $1.50, I think we did pretty good. Because we're going to have jars of this when we're done. I'm going to go through here. We're going to do some bananas. Just keep running this dehydrator. So I really like this, guys. Let me know your ideas. Let me know what you're prepping. Let me know what you're preserving and your methods of preserving. There's more than one way than just pressure canning, freezing. Again, this won't take up the freezer. Y'all, I got to add this in here. I videoed everything. I've got the dehydrator on 135 degrees. I've got bananas stacked beside the pineapple. Don't overlap, beside, but you can do any kind of fruit at 135 or any kind of vegetable at 125 or whatever your instructions say, but you can do different types of fruits side by side as long as they're not overlapping. I said, wait a minute. I got to tell the people. Why did I take the top off like that of the pineapple? It just dawned on me, an epiphany. Cut it right here and root it and have you some pineapple trees inside your house or a little house plant or outside. Y'all, I don't know what I was thinking. I was so mad after that. I said, wait, I could have had a pineapple tree. We've grown pineapples before, but during that infamous ice storm we had last Christmas, it took those out. So, anyways, we weren't able to move those in shelter at the time, and it was all she wrote. We had bigger priorities. So, I'm going to try again. I've got 3 more pineapples. We're going to cut it right here. I've got a little potting mix, and I'm going to put it inside and see what happens. It cannot hurt. That's recycling. That's being sustainable. Use every piece of everything that you've got, especially food-wise. The bottom, again, now that you can chunk, but you know what I just did? I threw it to my chickens. They are tearing this up. They're playing with it more than anything. They're pecking and slinging it around, but they love it. Guys, that's a good treat. Now, I believe somewhere you could make vinegar out of this. I don't know. I know the banana peels you can. We've done banana peel fertilizer, just banana peels sitting in water inside the fridge. I'll throw that to my plants. They love it so far. They're doing great. Orange peels, make vinegar. Apple peels, you can make your own apple cider vinegar. You can do so much. I've got apple peels and cores in the freezer now. If you don't have enough, just put it in there, let them sit until you get enough, and then start making your vinegar. But guys, I was tore up. I said I got to add this in here and tell everybody, root you some pineapple trees after this. Don't just chunk it like I did or pop the top, but make sure. So next time what I'm going to do is take my knife and I'm going to cut right here and save that and root it, but it needs some of the flesh with it. Don't break it off like I did unless you're just not wanting to root a pineapple tree. All right, guys, we'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead. Keep after it.